I built an AI machine that generates articles on a schedule, and it works like a charm. All you need to do is writing down some ideas, and the machine will generate the articles based on your ideas whenever you want. You can even close the application. As you can see, AI wrote all the articles that I requested. But how? Thanks to background jobs from Ingest. You can create long-running tasks with Ingest and Next.js. All you need to do is running this task on a schedule or based on an event. The machine will generate articles while you are sleeping.
Generated all the articles you requested.
Welcome guys, this is Batuhan from Maker. Today we will build a machine that generates articles on a schedule. And to create this machine, we will use Ingest. First, let me show you what is Ingest. Ingest is an API that you can build serverless queues, background jobs, schedule functions, and so on. With Ingest, we will build our AI chain. Let me show you. First, you need to install the Ingest library with this command, okay? And then you need to create a folder called Ingest inside your API folder. And in this API root, we will import ingest and the serve function from ingest/next. Okay? And since this is a AI machine, we need to use edge runtime because we will stream the AI responses. Otherwise, we can find ourselves in the limit of Vercel serverless functions. As you may already know, we have a limit of 30 seconds in the serverless functions. That's why we need to use streaming with the edge runtime, okay? First, we need to create our ingest client, and you can put the name here, and also you need to pass your ingest event key. You can get your event key from your dashboard like this. First, you need to log in or sign up, and when you log in, you can get your event key from here and your signing key, and you will pass your signing key into your serve function, and we will come to here. Okay, cool. First, we will create a function to get ideas and pass those ideas to our generator function. Okay, this is our first function, and we run this function on a schedule. You can set your timing as cron, and when the time is come, the function will be running. Okay, cool. In this function, first you need to set your name, and if this is a cron job, you need to set your cron, and then you need to create your handler function. In this handler function, you can run async tasks. Okay, first we will get, let me show you. As you can see, we create ideas in here. Once we create a new idea, let's create it. Is Samsung better than Apple. We can create a new idea like this. And as you can see, the status is waiting at the moment. And we, in the handler function, we get our ideas based on their status. Once we get our ideas, we can return our ideas to our generate blog post function. To send our ideas to this function, first we need to set our event name, and we can put our event name here. Okay, they must be the same to run this function from another function. Okay, you can think this, you can consider this as a function ID or event ID. Okay, and you can send your data inside this event. For example, we pass our idea category, and the ID of the idea. Okay, and finally we can send our events with the send event function. You can send multiple events at a time. Okay, cool. For example, in here we send 3 events every time. Okay, cool. And in our generate blog post function, we get our data. You can get your data from the event.data object like this. You can get the idea, category, and ID. First, we will generate the outline of our blog post. Okay, let me expand this window and close this sidebar. Okay, cool. In this function, first we create our outline. We use OpenAI stream helper function. You can get this function from the lib folder. Okay, in this function we basically waiting for the response. We are streaming the response as we get our chunks. Okay, because we have a limited time in the serverless functions, that's why we need to start immediately returning something. Okay, that's why we are using this streaming helper function. You need to set streaming true when you are making requests to this API to get responses as chunks. Okay, and then we return our responses as stream like this. And in this function, generate outline function, we can read our chunks and we can create a loop to send those chunks to as our outline. Okay, and finally when we are done, we can return our outline. Okay, cool. But the trick here is returning outline in our step function, because we can not access the other scopes with these functions. For example, if we said let outline like this, and if we try to pass our chunks values to this variable, we cannot access this variable from this function. That's why we need to return our output from the function and put it in a variable. Okay, cool. Now I will delete it. Cool. Now we can access our outline. And once we get our outline, we can run a search for, actually first we need to get a keyword from this outline to run image search from Unsplash. We can pass our outline to OpenAI to generate a keyword, okay? With this function, we can get our keyword. And at the same time, we can generate our blog post based on this outline, okay? You can use the same OpenAI stream function. You can choose whatever model you want, and you can set your system message, or you can change the examples, you can change the prompts, and etc. Also, you can set your max tokens like this, maybe. Okay, cool. And now, as you can see, we don't put an await keyword here because we can run these functions in parallel, because we don't need to waste our time to wait our keywords since they are not related, they are not depends on each other, right? So we can run these functions in parallel like this, and we can get our outputs like this. Okay, so we have 2 steps in step 2 like this. And once we get our outputs, we can run a search from Unsplash to get our hero image. And once we get our hero image, we can save our post. As you can see, we use this step keyword here to run our functions, right? You get this step as an argument from the handler function. You get the step and event. You get your data from the event, and also this step keyword to run your steps. Okay? You can declare as many as you want steps in this handler function. Okay, cool. Now we saved our blog posts into our database. We use Supabase as our database here. And finally, we need to update the status of idea, right? Because it's no longer waiting, it's generated. Okay? And we can run these functions in parallel again because they are not depend on each other. Okay, cool. And we get our saved post as our output. And in the final step, we revalidate our page since they are server components and server-side rendered page. We need to clear the cache and revalidate those pages. First, we revalidate our home page, our posts page, and the specific post page. Okay? And again, we can run those functions like this. Okay, cool. And finally, we need to export our methods, our get method, post method, and put method with this serve function. We import this from Ingest Next. And in this function, first we need to pass our ingest client, and we need to pass our functions, and also we need to set streaming like this, allow, and also we need to set our signing key that we get from our dashboard. Okay, before running our flow for this idea, first we need to run our development ingest server. You can use this command npx ingest CLI latest dev. And once you run your development server, you can access it from this IP. And we will see our function when it's running here. Okay, now we can set our cron job, but let me check the time first. Okay, we can hit save, and when the time has come, we will see that our function is running on the background. Okay, our function is running at the moment, and we can see the logs when we click this box. It can take some time because AI is generating responses at the moment, and it's not that fast. So we need to wait. Yeah, cool. AI generated our outline here, and also generated our keyword for image search. Now it's trying to generate our blog post as well as searching for relevant image from Unsplash. Okay, cool. AI generated our blog post at the moment and also found this image from Unsplash. Now it's trying to save our post into the database and update the status of idea, and also it's trying to revalidate all the pages with the revalidate API of Next.js. The best thing that Ingest API provides is if an error occurs in a step, Ingest API will retry this step and pause all the remaining steps. And once we get the expected output from the step, Ingest API continue to run remaining steps. I think it's great because when you're trying to handle those errors, I think it's a nightmare. But Ingest API automatically handle errors and retry when the error occurs. Okay, cool. Now we need to wait for the function. Okay, cool. Now function is completed. We can check our page, and when we refresh our page, as you can see, the status is generated, and we can check our posts. The post is here and generated by AI. Okay, now let me show you how you can test your functions without waiting the cron job. First, let's create another idea. And was the first iPhone is released. Okay. Now we can send this idea like this. When you go to your dashboard, your development server dashboard, you can click the send event button. Okay. First, we can get rid of this user, and we need to send our data like this. And also we need to send our ID. I think it's 17. Let me check. Yeah, it's 17. And the category is 1, like this. Yep. And now we need to pass the name of our event, this one. Okay. Now we can send our event, and as you can see, it has started on the background. You can test your events with this send event button. Okay, last thing that I want to show you how we can run our flows based on the client-side event. First things first, we use server actions from Next.js to create our idea. If you don't know what is server actions, you can check my previous video. In our server action, we simply create our idea and send to our database. Once the idea is created, we can run our flow. But first, we need to create our ingest client, and we need to create this client in the function scope, because if we create this in other scopes, the server action cannot reach this client. Okay, that's why we need to put this client here. And you need to set your name and your event key. And finally, you can send your event like this. This event name is coming from the function that we have created here in the ingest root, generate blog post, and the copy the event name, and you can paste it here. And also you need to send your data, the idea, category, and the ID. Okay, let's create the idea. Is why Chinese company. And as you can see, we have created our idea and the status is waiting. And let's check if it's running. Yes, it's running on the background. We can close this window, and as you can see, it's still running. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you like it. If you like it, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like that, please subscribe my channel.